What's going on, gang? It's your boy Wayne to the mother freaking James, man. Turn up the light, turn up the light. I'm hot. Damn, turn the damn fan, bro. Oh, shoot. I turned off the switch. Oh, my gosh. I'm so slow. Alright, now it's on. Alright, man. I'm back, guys. Sorry for the inconvenience, man. I got myself some popcorn. I got myself some ginger ale. And yeah, I did ate it early off the Slim Jim. So, today we are going to react to the Phoenix Suns situation. So this is really scary for Phoenix, for all your Suns fans. How do you feel about the 2024 and 2025 season for the Phoenix Suns? Since the Bradley Beal trade, as you may know, is a big three with Devin Booker, KD, and of course Bradley Beal himself. So yeah, as you may know, they are not in the NBA playoffs. So we don't know what's going on, but we got some controversial. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's see about this.
Said something that should scare every single Suns fan. After his 10th year in the league, the Suns didn't even make the playoffs, let alone the playoffs. And guess what? They don't control their first round pick. It goes to Houston. So I did a little tankathon.com. Oh yeah, most likely to land 10 or 11. No big deal. Bam! I
haven't had popcorn in a long time.
In the draft. In the very next spin, it goes
This is like grew up on popcorn.
Seriously. Can you imagine going through that entire miserable season for the Suns and having nothing to show for it to see Houston get your pick? So what did Devin Booker say? Oh, it is a gigantic red flag. But how did we get here? Well, Matt Ishbia was a walk-on at Michigan State, took over his dad's company, and became a billionaire. With that money, he bought the Suns. Now, at the time, Phoenix was a 64-win team. That is better than the Celtics this year. The Thunder were a 24-win team, worse than the Brooklyn Nets. But which team panicked and blew it all up? The crappy team with a ton of assets or the good one? I mean, think about that. Like, the Thunder, 24 wins, they could have gotten any star they wanted with all their players and fixed, but no, they chose to stay patient. And it's not like the Suns were old at the time. Outside of Chris Paul, they blew up a core that was 23 years old, 25, 25, and 25. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, they was good. Like, when CP3 came to the Suns, they made the team look like they were a competitor. They made it to the NBA Finals in I think it was 2021 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Who remembers that? They almost this close to win the NBA Finals. Then the Bucks, Giannis was going crazy, averaging like triple doubles. I think 50-point game in playoffs history. I think finals or playoffs history, I guess. But it was good. It was good. Like, why? I don't understand why you need a bigger star like Kevin Durant to go to the Suns. Like, that's messing up. Like I said, I think it was a quote saying you don't need no big three to go to the freaking NBA Finals or go to the playoffs. You can do it on your own.
Well, it's ironic that Matt Ishbia, who made his fortune selling 30-year mortgages, is this impatient. The man thinks the rules do not apply to him. It surprises me that other people, other fans, they actually like the rebuild process. Like, oh, let's rebuild it. Are you crazy? You think I'm going to go for 7 years and try to get there? You enjoy those 2030 draft picks? I want us to win today. What? Like, he's basically being like, see, I want to win. No one else does. Yeah, right. Everyone wants to win. It's just a little more complicated than that. And now some fans are like, we need to fire our GM. I can't believe he put us in this mess. No, Matt Ishbia is your GM, okay? Like the dude James Jones who has GM on his business card, yeah, that might as well say puppet. I mean, Ishbia played a little basketball in college, and now he thinks he is better suited to run an NBA team than a guy who literally spent his entire life to get that job. So no, it doesn't matter what GM they put in there, okay? Matt Ishbia is clearly calling the shots. That's exactly like the Nets when KD and Kyrie were there, right? We knew knew Sean Marks was the GM, but come on. KD and Kyrie wanted to get rid of Coach Kenny Atkinson, so they hired Steve Nash. KD and Kyrie wanted to trade everything for James Harden, so they did it. How did that work out? They could fire the GM and the coach every single year. It's not going to make a difference. But what happens to patient teams? We already talked about OKC, but what about the Lakers? Like Rob Pelinka, for years, refused to burn picks. Even if it pissed off the GM, right? Like, no, we will not trade for DeJounte Murray. We're not going to send out Austin Reeves and back for Kyrie. Then they have enough to land Luka Doncic. Amazing. Or the Warriors, right? Like, people, including me for years, were like, you need to burn your picks to help out Steph Curry. No, they remain patient. Got Jimmy Butler. Now, some people love Ishbia because he's not Robert Sarver, the old owner who was like so cheap that he killed the team. But just because this new guy spends money and he loves basketball doesn't mean he's a different kind of bad. Like, he cares and he loves the game. How is that bad? Well, his ego is running the team, not actual basketball people. It's dysfunction, but with a higher price tag. So what happens next? Well, a new report says the Heat, Nuggets, Spurs, and Warriors are teams who could show interest in Bradley Beal. When the Suns buy out his max contract, when they buy him out, really? Well, Beal is owed over $110 million over the next 2 years. They could buy him out and eat about $80 million of dead money, which would make it even harder to build around Devin Booker. And what about trading KD? Well, a fascinating post on Twitter. A fan told KD, yo, we don't want you off our team, but what choice do we have? We can't run it back, obviously. You'll get us the best return, respectfully. And Draymond was like, respectfully. Yeah, I get it. So Sean says 5 teams have interest. The Heat, Spurs, Rockets, Knicks, and Timberwolves. But Brian Windhorst said, not so fast. The reason KD wasn't traded at the deadline, Phoenix wanted a massive haul. So everybody was basically like, no, that's too expensive. Well, what if that's the case in the summer, and all the Suns could get is like 2 picks and a good role player, or like 2 good role players to surround Devin Booker with? Like, what if it was like Jabari Smith Jr. and Reed Shepard if KD went to the Rockets? Or the Spurs, Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson. Grizzlies, Desmond Bane and Gigi Jackson. Eaton, Global player Duncan Robinson. Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr. and Zeke Naji. Those are the kinds of trades that people are talking about. Dude, you're not going to compete with OKC or the Lakers, the Warriors, the Timberwolves. At best, the Suns would be like a top 6 seed. Oh, so you just make a different trade. No, the Suns control 0 of their own draft picks to trade until 2032. So good luck with Devin Booker and Desmond Bane, buddy. I'm sure it's going to be great. So what did Booker say about that? Well, when speaking to The Ringer, Book talked about being almost 29 years old. Most of his career with the crappy Suns, and I will never be in a rebuild again. Really? Because you might not have a choice. The Suns are in one of the worst situations we've seen in NBA history. Consider this. Finished outside the top 10 as the most expensive roster in NBA history and don't have control of their first-round pick. Is that not the worst season in NBA history? Plus, they're about to fire Coach Mike Budenholzer. That'll be 3 head coaches in 3 years.
Yeah, I just realized too.
Again, after the finals 3 years ago. And Book went through this already as a younger player. Never making the playoffs, new head coaches. Does he want to do that again? No, he just said this. When Matt is
we need Mike D'Antoni.
He's about to. He might be forced to trade Devin Booker. Then there's what he said after the final home game of the season. Suns had nothing to play for, but Booker still suited up. Why? Well, it took a real Suns fan to be there tonight. I pay real respect to the person that was either their first time or maybe their last time seeing me play. Or the last time? What does that mean? Some people are like, oh, it's nothing. It just meant they'll never be able to come to another game. But these NBA players are calculated. They know every word will be dissected, and Booker said it for a reason. Everybody loves like a one franchise player, but Book said himself he's not going to do another rebuild. And think about it. Like, Book is going to be on the verge of 30 to start next season. His trade value may never be higher. You gotta do it. They could package KD and Book to Houston and get all their picks back, plus a good young player like a Jalen Green, maybe even a Reed Shepard in there. You are not going to get better than that. And I think Book would initially be really sad, like Luka, who truly loved Dallas. But dude, KD and Book on the 2 seed Rockets would be elite, like championship level. The coach is amazing, top 5 defense. The one thing they just have been missing is a closer like Book and KD. Like they've got number 4 defense with guys like Amid Thompson, Tari East, and Dylan Brooks, but no killer closer. It is perfect. I think pretty soon Matt Ispia's ego is going to get humbled when his back is against the wall, and the only move left is to move Devin Booker. But things are doing great in Golden State and Cleveland. And a huge part of that, both stories this year, is defense, right? Evan Mobley, Draymond Green, both candidates for Defensive Player of the Year. But how did Draymond go from average fixer for Depoy to the favorite in just 21 days? The answer's pretty concerning.
Ooh, okay. That's good, interesting. Well, how do you feel about it, guys? Suns fans, how do you feel about this? Do we should get rid of Kevin Durant or get rid of Devin Booker? Let me know.